What's up, and welcome to 5280 Film Room.
We're a Colorado sports podcast by fans for fans.
Please subscribe, rate, and review, and also follow us on Facebook and Instagram.
You can also email us your input, questions, and ideas at 5280filmroom@gmail.com.
Thanks for listening.
What's up, Nuggets fans? Welcome to 5280 Film Room. I'm Gideon.
I'm Miles.
And we are just finishing watching the Nuggets-Lakers game on Tuesday night.
Kind of a blowout.
A little bit of a blowout. I don't have stats immediately in front of me right now, but I don't think LeBron even had like a solid game.
A solid one for him.
The Nuggets controlled this like from the first quarter all the way through the fourth quarter.
Yeah, 14 points, 7 boards, only 2 assists for LeBron, and he went 5 of 15.
How many turnovers?
0 for 4 from deep and 4 turnovers.
Nice.
So that's what you're not going to stop LeBron, but you got to hope that you can limit him to that.
I would say that's stopping LeBron. There's definitely some moments where he was looking like he was ready to take control of the game, but the Nuggets defense definitely stepped up tonight. And over these last couple games, they've definitely stepped up as a team. I know the last time we recorded, it was right before our losing stretch. But
I think it was right in the middle because that was right after the Nets game, before the Bucks.
Oh, before the Bucks.
Yeah.
But either way, it's nice for us to grab a few after losing a whole bunch and
against some good teams,
maintaining our standing within the Western Conference.
I mean, I wouldn't say the Magic are a great team. They're definitely a young team, but the win a couple nights ago against the Thunder was pretty solid.
Definitely. I mean, we even limited Westbrook in that game fairly well, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And, in one of our first podcasts, we had a question asking if the Nuggets live or die by the three-pointer. And even though we went through that losing stretch of, lost 6 of 7 or something like that, 7 of 9, we still haven't become a good three-point shooting team, but I don't think we are losing games because of our, I don't want to say abysmal, but poor three-point shooting.
Below average, and it's not up to what we're used to.
The league standard either.
Yeah, exactly. But we're also not attempting that many three-pointers. Which
is fine. That's why I'm not super upset about having, under 30% three-point shooting rate as a team. I think it's right around there. But our offensive boards are through the roof. About a quarter of...
We're what, top 10?
Yeah, I think it's top 6 or something like that.
Something like that.
But a quarter of our rebounds per game is our offensive rebounds. And that just gives us those extra opportunities to score points and keep the ball away from the other team while draining some clock. And as long as we maintain these decent leads going into the fourth quarter, I think we're a strong enough team and we're playing smart enough is what's the biggest thing. That we can pretty much beat anyone.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the biggest thing that I think was lacking throughout that entire losing streak was the team-wide commitment on defense. I mean, there were too many easy buckets, one-on-ones for the other teams that was just people standing around watching.
And our fouling is definitely still an issue. I know Juancho had, I think, 3 fouls after the first quarter, I believe. If not the first quarter tonight, he was definitely at 3 a few minutes into the second. And usually it's been Jokic in trouble in the first half. And that definitely hurts us when one of our best players, if not our absolute best player, is not on the court. That definitely affects the game. And now Juancho is stepping up to the plate to be one of our better three-point shooters. So now him getting in free throw trouble or foul trouble to start the games is not ideal because we're starting to lean on him to making good offensive decisions, and he's a hustler on the defensive side as well.
Yeah, Wancho's been balling out. It's been really great. I think the biggest two additions that we've had this year that we've seen is Plumlee and Millsap. I mean, they're just...
Well, they're both 100% healthy.
They're 100% healthy, but Millsap's... He's doing what we expected, and he's living up to his salary. But Plumlee is just huge.
Stepping up, for sure.
Coming off the bench and just kind of like Wancho, giving us that extra spark, fire to continue pushing and playing the team basketball that we're accustomed to this year thus far.
Shooting's not great outside of like the circle underneath the basket.
Then there's the free throws.
But yeah, his free throws are bad. But he definitely makes up for it on the offensive rebounding and his defensive efforts. He's really long, dude, and
yeah,
it's hard to shoot over him.
Kind
it's
of
hard to get
surprisingly
around of him.
Agile and quick.
He's pretty quick. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know a few games ago we were pretty surprised to see him like cross over through the legs and spin move on it, dude. And it was like, whoa, Plumlee's got some handles.
He had a couple.
Still needs to work on a shot.
I mean, he's doing these reach around steals and driving down. It's awesome to see a big man doing that. We're accustomed to seeing little guys, guards, and maybe a 3, maybe 4 do that, but a 5, you don't really see that very often.
No, not unless you got like Joel Embiid.
Oh yeah,
Anthony Towns, the outliers.
Yeah, exactly.
But they're offensive monsters as well. And Plumlee's definitely a defensive specialist and a rebounding master. But kind of segueing from Plumlee's rebounding and his poor free throws, we can go into the team free throws. And tonight against the Lakers, we were
93%, 14 for 15.
So that's fantastic. Since we've averaged, I think, like 74% free throw shooting. Almost having a perfect game from the free throw line is refreshing to see.
Yes.
Like, if we can get closer to that 80% mark, we can take as many three-pointers as we want.
Yeah. Draw the fouls, get to the line, easy points.
And just make those buckets. And that's the reason why the Nuggets won by 32 points tonight. The game just finished, and it's 117 to 85, I believe was the final, since it's not displayed currently. But, yeah, 30-point win for the Nuggets. And
32.
I mean, if you've ever played NBA 2K against, like, people competitively, in that world, when you get 30-pointed, like, they're telling you to quit. Like, you need to stop playing this game.
Yeah.
You just got 30-pointed. And it's pretty similar viewpoint in the NBA amongst the players as well. Like, we 30'd you guys. Like, where were you? You're supposed to be a professional basketball team. And it happens, but you're not supposed to get blown out by 30 points.
And then there's the Warriors putting 40s on people sometimes. Having the potential.
Yeah, but it helps when you have, two of the best three-point shooters in the history of basketball.
And
on
one
your
of
team.
the best scorers of all time. So it's like,
yeah,
they're benefiting from their situation.
Right.
So that's
and
good.
with, the quicker pace of play with the change of time clock and stuff, like, I definitely enjoy watching basketball more this year because it's noticeably quicker, and obviously a lot of people around the league are seeing
lulls.
But you're seeing higher scoring games as well. Because, off of an offensive rebound, instead of having a full shot clock, now it's dropped down to 14, and it makes you want to score more or take more shots.
Yeah, has there been a 150-point game yet? I know there's been one or two 140s.
I think it happened like the first week.
First week?
Yeah, there was some crazy games. I think the Warriors might have put up like 153 or something.
That's nuts.
That's what my gut's telling me.
10 years ago, a high of 120, 125 was
crazy.
Almost unheard of. Yeah.
And now teams are being able to hit, 120, 130.
Averaging
almost
115.
on a nightly basis, yeah. But I mean, I think even the Nuggets, when they had Melo, when we made that playoff push
To
to
the
the
finals?
Western Conference Finals. I think that year our team was averaging like 112 or 114, I want to say, per game.
That's
so,
solid.
I mean, it's not a huge increase from the
Well, this is the first year
previous
those
10, 15
rules have
years,
been into
but-
effect, right?
right.
So I think that's going to
and
change it
that's-
long term
Oh, absolutely.
and scale it
as
up.
as players get more comfortable with how the game's called, they kind of find their groove, and you work around the rules that you're given in any game that you play. But when you get to the professional level, a lot of these players who at least want to take their game to the next level, they read the rule books and try to get around specific calls and rules, and
See
they
kinda
want-
where the gray
they want
area
to
is.
benefit their game as much as possible within the rules. I know, like Kobe Bryant would always have a rule book like in his locker, and he'd always be checking rules and stuff and making sure like the refs were calling the games right, but then also knowing like, all right, well, these two refs are going to be in this place at this time. I might be able to get away with like an elbow into the sternum or something. But yeah, I mean, it's
Any
definitely
little thing to give an
interesting
advantage.
to see how the rule changes affect the league as a whole. But the Nuggets have definitely benefited from this change because of our offensive rebounding. Our rebounding in general. But we're already a pretty high-paced team, so maintaining that quick pace allows us to put even bigger numbers up on teams, especially when they're coming home or to our home in Denver.
Yeah.
Like, we use that altitude to our benefit pretty significantly.
Yeah, and I mean, especially this game, the Lakers were hanging in there in the first half a little bit more so than the second. We just blew it out in the third.
Yeah, we had a solid
But-
third quarter, which
But
is-
I mean,
is
I
rare.
remember the first quarter, LeBron just looked gassed. And he went out, he played the first 11 minutes or so. And he just looked absolutely
Maybe-
gassed. And they're I think they're the second highest in fast break points per game. So, I mean, they're used to running.
So maybe LeBron's
They're-
getting old and he's finally feeling the altitude when he comes to Denver. But like, the game was way closer when we went to LA and lost to them. That was our first loss, I believe,
Yeah, that
of the
was
season. And
after 4-0 start.
that was a crazy game. It was fun to watch, and tonight's game was crazy and also fun to watch. But the Nuggets made it a blowout, and that puts a smile on your face.
I think the home court in the two Lakers games thus far this season has edged out the other team.
yeah,
I mean, I think it was pretty apparent this game that the Lakers did look a little gassed. We definitely had the upper hand on the offensive rebounding, getting those second chance points. But I mean, when you're playing a team that runs, you need the depth, and the Lakers don't necessarily have that.
and the Nuggets have probably the best depth in the
Yes.
league right now.
Which is phenomenal given how young we are.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm looking forward to seeing how the Nuggets can maintain what we've done over the last couple games. I mean, we've really turned a corner with the defense over that losing streak.
We've won 4 straight now.
Four in a row. Just like the start of the season, let's keep it rolling.
9-3 at home, 5-4 on the road. But looking forward to these next couple games, we've got we've got the Blazers.
We've got a road trip that's
on
going to be a
Friday.
little brutal over the next
Yeah.
week and a half.
So in Portland on this Friday, and
Yep.
then oh man, yeah, we're in Portland, and then we go basically halfway across the country, a little bit more to Toronto, and then down south to Orlando.
Other side of the country.
And New Orleans and Atlanta.
So it ends in the kind of the same general
but
vicinity.
over
but yeah.
what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Over 11 days we play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games while traveling. So if the Nuggets really want to show their depth and show their stamina, this is going to be a perfect road trip for us to determine how resilient the Nuggets are and can they maintain the output that they've had these last few games on the road while traveling and on short rest.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be the first 2 games of that trip, the Blazers and Raptors, I think are going to be the biggest test on a talent aspect of things. And then the latter 3, Magic, Hornets, and Hawks, are going to be more of a conditioning and making sure that we can maintain our production throughout a road trip like that.
Yeah. But
It's going to be tough, but...
Then we got
I
a
think-
nice little homestand before Christmas, and then a couple away games, and back to kind of a normal pace.
Come January.
The NBA schedule is pretty intriguing to me when, a lot of teams will have, 2 at home, 2 away, or 1-1, 1-1. And then you have other teams that go on like 5-6 game road trips or homestands.
Yep.
And it's like, we're going to play good teams at home, but we haven't had to travel. We get good rest because you're not having to worry about a bus or an airplane. And when you go on those road trips, like, not only is it difficult playing at a high level while you're traveling, but then the jet lag sets in when you're not used to being in a specific area and the
Crossing time zones.
sun's going up and down at
Yeah.
different times. And
Oh, yeah.
the Nuggets are about to be in 3 different time zones over a course of like 4 or 5 days. And
Yeah.
that by itself is pretty draining. But, good thing that Las Vegas doesn't have a basketball team yet. I can see a whole bunch of dudes getting wild out there.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I remember there was the altitude, who's it, Scott Hastings and... I forget the other guy's name for altitude commentators. But...
Scott Brooks. Does that sound right?
It's
Probably not right.
tomato. Anyways, they were talking about Jamal Murray being in the 3rd year in the league and how he still doesn't have quite the production that he that he has at home on the road. And I mean, I think that factors into the fact, I mean, he's a young guy, he wants to go have fun. Maybe he has friends in that city that he's visiting. Go out on the town the night before the game. I don't know.
And that's the way it should be.
Well, what I'm saying is, like, if he, like, his numbers are drastically lower. Like, I think he's averaging 19 points at home and 14 on the road. Different shooting, this, that, the other. And that's kind of expected.
That could be travel.
But if he wants to take that next step, even those numbers out a lot more and focus on what you do at home, even more so on the road, because you don't have...
Do you know that he's going out on the road?
Oh, I don't know. That's what they were mentioning. They were saying, like, he could be going out on the road. I'm just saying it's...
As long
it's a
as we
possibility.
don't see it in the newspaper, I think it's perfectly fine, regardless of the
Produce on the
production
court.
rate.
Yeah.
But as you grow as a player throughout your career, you're going to figure out what works and what doesn't work. And
Yeah, he just started his 3rd
sports
year.
players
So.
are superstitious, so maybe he's got some bad juju on his road games or something. I don't know. But, even if he does go out on road trips, as long as, he's staying out of trouble and making
I haven't
it to
heard
practice
anything.
on time, then
Yeah.
that's perfectly fine.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything.
It's kind of
so.
like when John Wall was seen like clubbing and everything the night before their game. And he's like, I have fun. Like, who cares?
Yeah, why not?
I mean, he didn't do like his usual stuff on the court, and that's why people were getting mad. But there's no evidence to show that Jamal Murray has allowed road trips to affect him because he's not doing
No, it was
his
just
due diligence to.
Yeah, I mean, it was an interesting comment by the commentators. But I mean, if he does want to take the next step and be one of the top 5
You got to be
guards,
consistent.
be consistent everywhere.
Yeah.
That'd be sweet to see. I mean, he's young, he's growing, he's learning, like you said. Go through some motions, try things, different things. And
when we go to Boston to play the Celtics, I would love to see him drop 50 over Kyrie
Again.
at Kyrie's home. Like,
Yeah.
that would be awesome.
knowing Kyrie, he probably is going to try to drop 50 on
Jamal.
So, yeah.
So it's going to be a shootout, and that's kind of a cool guard matchup rivalry that's starting to grow and blossom. And Jamal Murray is a little bit of a a smack talker. He's waving bye-bye to KCP after an easy layup.
After a flyby attempt at a block.
Yeah. So he's got the sauce and he dishes out the salt. But no, he's like his age definitely shows on the court, and as he matures as a person, you know, not worrying about wagging your finger in someone's face or doing antics at the end. Like, it's fun, it's cool, I like it, it's funny. But, you know, as he matures as a person, I think he'll mature as a player, and we will start to see that consistency level out. And if he wants to get a good, solid contract and stay in Denver, he's going to have to show a production rate on the road that justifies. I don't want to call him a max player, but if he can start averaging like 25 points a game, like, yeah, he might be a max contract guard.
Yeah, I could definitely see him taking that step over the next 3 years, I'd say.
Well, he's got, what, 3 years?
I just would say 3 years just in
contract,
general.
probably like a team option.
Just based on where he's at now.
Yeah.
2-3 years from now, I think he definitely could get to a point where he can demand a max level.
Which would be great.
Yeah, that'd be awesome if he's with.
But you gotta show coaches, teams what you got while you have the opportunity. Like, he's getting 32 minutes a game, and
I mean, he was even pulled out of the starting lineup a little bit. I think.
Well, I don't even think he was really playing well. No, Monty Morris was like, "Hey, give me 16 minutes and I'll put up 14, 15 points and 5 rebounds, 4 assists." Like,
oh yeah, Murray still got his playing time, probably like 15, 20, 25 minutes a game, but he just still came off the bench.
Yeah. And that could have been like that was in the middle of a road trip too. Like, give him a little bit of a break. Like, you're not starting the game, but you're still getting your 30 minutes.
Still get that role player, yeah.
And maybe run him against a second team a little bit so that he can get confidence back and get his shot going. But when you're giving these young guys like Juancho and Monty Morris a chance to play against starters, that helps those players grow as well.
Definitely. With this road trip, what are you looking forward to seeing in production levels for the Nuggets, whether it's player-specific, team-specific? What do you want to look for most as far as
just keep it consistent. Like, the Nuggets win from their good defense and from their ball control. And I think as long as they don't get sloppy with their passing, we're one of the highest assist per game teams in the league. So, just keep it simple. Like, if I were Mike Malone, be like, all right, guys, like, regardless of who we're playing, like, let's take Portland, for example. They've got 2 awesome guards in Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum, who are...
Let's hope Gary Harris is back for that.
Yeah. But I think as long as we maintain our defensive prowess and we get those offensive rebounds and keep our turnovers to a minimum, I think we could easily go on a solid win streak. Like, maybe... I definitely could see us winning this entire road trip.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
But, the right players are going to have to step up and play a little bit of extra minutes. And if Gary Harris comes back, then that'll be fantastic.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to the matchup with the Blazers as far as the guards go with Dame and McCollum. But I'm really interested to see how we fare against Kawhi and the Raptors. They are such a hot team right now. I think.
What's the East?
They're
all NBA teams.
Yeah,
but
with Kyle Lowry, Ibaka. I think Siakam is there, just kind of going on a tear.
Yeah.
But
Kawhi's fully healthy now, and he's showing it. And the thing about Kawhi Leonard is that, yes, he's a good offensive player, but he's an even better defensive player.
Who do you think we match up most against him? I want to say Torrey Craig.
If you want to limit his offense, throw Torrey Craig on him.
Kind of limit him a little on defense if you can.
Well, that would limit him on defense because Torrey Craig really isn't our offensive guy. So it's like, hey, you get to defend. Like if the Raptors decide to play man-to-man on us, then Kawhi will be on Torrey Craig, and that kind of removes him from the equation if he's just going to stick on
He'll
Craig.
still be there with rotations.
But if they
and
play
help
zone,
out,
then it's like, all right, well, he's going to be constantly moving around and on different guys. So it all depends on how they decide to play. And I think if they play man-to-man against us, that'll be their downfall because
put Craig in.
Kawhi's going to be in like a dead role, essentially, because we don't use Torrey Craig on the offensive side.
We would use him as
but
kind of like a
defense,
stopgap for his defense.
Yeah, he was like we did with the Warriors against Kevin Durant.
Yep.
And
I mean, he was the one who kind of guarded Westbrook.
Yep.
Shut him down for most of the game.
So that's definitely the best play route or matchup route to go against Kawhi.
I'd love to see Will Barton and Kawhi go against each other. But, I mean, Barton's not back for probably a few more weeks.
Yeah, I think we see Isaiah Thomas before we see Barton on the court.
That'll be solid. We've got such a good lineup with, even if you remove everyone that's injured or not on the active, quote unquote active dressed roster, I think we definitely have the opportunity to match up against anybody. So
yeah, we're fifth in the league right now, total standings. So that puts us at a potential number 2 or number 3 seed within the West.
Yep.
And that puts you in an ideal position to make a deep playoff run. You have home court advantage, and if you can make it to the Western Conference Finals, hope and pray that someone knocked out the Warriors. But
we did show that we can play well against them.
We can play well against
first
the Warriors.
week of the season.
Our zone defense is working really well, and that's why I say going into this road trip, we just kind of maintain our consistency. We kind of found a different way to operate. And I think that's why we lost a couple weeks ago. Is because people started to, they're going to play soft defense. And if you kind of bully them on the offensive side, they get frustrated. Like, we're a young team, and it doesn't take much for a lot of our players to get frustrated, especially if their shots aren't falling. So, we're in a good position right now where we're starting to find the hot hand and feed that guy. And let him take a game over if that's what's necessary.
But still continue, move the ball.
Yeah, Millsap had a great game tonight. Yep. Juancho had a great game. Beasley almost had his career high.
Did he? I didn't see that.
Yeah, he was at 16, and his career high was 17.
So he's right there.
So,
dang.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these players stepped up and played well. And it's good to give our starters a little bit of extra break at the end, with Jokic sitting and Jamal Murray sitting, especially with this road trip coming up. So I think we're in a good spot to maintain this winning streak.
Definitely. It's going to be a good matchup. So I'm looking forward to the road games. Hopefully, I'd like to see if we can come out of it 4-1.
That'd be ideal.
If anything, drop one of the first 2 games.
Like against the Pelicans. Oh, no, we play the Hornets, not the Pelicans. I always get those 2 teams mixed up, man. I was like, we got Anthony Davis coming up. No. We have Kemba Walker and
whoever. I think we'll be fine on that one.
Yeah.
The Magic in Orlando might be a little tough one because they played us a little tough, but we ended up kind of blowing the doors off.
I think we got it.
Yeah.
I'm pretty confident.
Oh, yeah.
Anything else you want to touch on?
No, I mean, I'm just looking forward to it. I would like to see a little bit more consistency in the shot from Jokic, but he's proved that over the last couple of games, and as long as it continues, I think we're going to be in a great spot to win the majority of our games.
Yeah, he's definitely been hesitant on his 3-pointers.
But then he came out in the second half and dropped 2 immediately.
From deep.
Yeah.
He could be a little bit more explosive when attacking the rim. But maybe he's
or
just that big
rim.
of a dude and he's going to, like, blow a knee out or something.
Yeah. Very, very possible. He could have seen it. Serbia?
Yeah.
Seen it a couple times out there growing up.
He's put on
other big dudes.
A little bit more weight. So, could be a part of it for sure. But, yeah, definitely a good position to win this road trip. And unfortunately, Jokic isn't playing at the salary caliber that we're paying him for. But
well, I mean, I would say he's thus far no.
His passing
he's almost there.
Ability is almost worth it.
Yeah.
But like offensive production, we definitely need a little more out of him, and defensive for sure.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, if he can get a little bit more consistent and be more aggressive with just putting a shot up as opposed to pump fake and dribble around, pass the ball a little bit, I think it'd be a benefit to not only him but all the other players and his passing. It just opens up the lanes even more.
Yeah.
When he stretches the floor, whether it's a 15-foot mid-range or three-pointer.
And as our support players get better and better, that'll draw more defenses off of Jokic. I think he kind of showed the league last year with his multiple triple-double games.
Yeah.
It was like, hey, this guy's good. You got to put another man on him. And, he's in kind of a slump in his career for this season.
But, I mean, it also could be that more people are keying in on what his game style is.
Yeah. So as those support players around him get better and attack the rim harder and make those extra passes like they are doing, I think we'll definitely see more production out of Jokic in the near future.
It's definitely going to be good to see. We're going to need it. And we have held the most... Stat just came up on the TV. We are the team that has 10 games where we've held the opponent under 100 points.
Which is best in the league.
Best in the league. What was that? Memphis is at 8 and Boston's at 7.
Mm-hmm.
So...
And Memphis is a really slow playing team.
So that kind of... Their pace plays into that. But it's great to see a team like us with our pace,
great defense,
still being able to hold that many teams under 100.
And I think it goes back to that zone defense. They play it well. It's a basic defense, but it makes other teams have to win or lose from the three-point line.
Yeah. And
there's always going to be a big guy down low covering the basket, and if that extra pass kicks out for an open three, you know what? Take it. That's fine.
Show me what you got.
And there's been several games like that's what we did against the Bucks at home and at their place.
And then there was Brook Lopez.
And they took over.
Yeah.
But I think it's more likely you beat teams when those teams take more three-pointers than if they take less three-pointers.
Yep. I mean, unless they're a knockdown three-point team like Golden State, that's going to be a little tough to maintain.
Yeah, we won by 2.
We won by 2. We still won, yeah.
But, that was, the first or second game of the season. So
yeah, somewhere around there.
Teams are still getting a feel for whose role is what.
Getting reacclimated to the
pace,
the season. And,
like speed's definitely starting to pick up. And I know a lot of people consider, like, Christmas weekend the true start to the NBA season.
It's like a little long couple-month preseason, and then it just blows open after the beginning of the year.
Yeah, there's tons of players that take the entire season super serious, but I'm sure there's also players that want to play in every game, so they might not give back-to-backs their full 100%. But you definitely see the change in play when you go from regular season to playoff basketball, because then you see these dudes giving
right after the All-Star break
every single night, and I watch the regular season just to get more amped and knowledgeable for.
And it just ramps it up. I mean, the beginning of the new year definitely adds an effect, but I think the biggest turn is right at the All-Star break. I mean, that just ramps it up. I mean, obviously there's teams that know they're not going to make it to the playoffs at that point. So it's a little tough sometimes, but if you're playing two good teams that are vying for spots in the seeding for the playoffs, it's going to have playoff atmosphere.
Oh, yeah.
In the regular season, which isn't really saying too much, but, I mean, it's going to be fun. I'm excited.
All right. Well, thanks for listening, everyone. Don't forget to go out and grab some fresh Nuggets gear with these new logos and color schemes that we have.
The City Edition Rainbow.
Also, we got to give a shout out to Steele Krause, if you guys are looking for a home, he is your man. He works with the Osgood Team Real Estate, and you can reach him at 303-587-5417, and he will do the best he can to get you in to the perfect home you've been dreaming all about.
Your perfect home court advantage.
Thanks for listening, guys. This has been 5280 Film Room covering the Nuggets. Laters.
Peace.